Good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew with Yes, it's your girl Germaine, and it is Wednesday, which means it's Mixed Blend Wednesday. So today, we do have a guest in the studio who is no stranger to Morning Brew. I tell you, he is family. I am always happy when he shows up in studio because he is someone that I have been knowing for a very long time. And I'm going to be honest, he is one of my mentors. Yes, he is. I probably don't tell him enough. But hey, if you were chiming in before we bring him on, we're going to bring him on shortly. Before we bring him on, let's just tell me what you're drinking. I have actually today, I just want to say sponsor coffee by Ezra Coffee. I am drinking the 64th in Tulsa. Yes, coffee blend. And it is so good. Okay. But I do have also chiming in, Godfrey Lashley joined us. Teresa Merritt Watson has joined us over on Instagram. All right, guys, let me not hold on to him too long. I don't want him to wait too long. But we have none other than my mentor, my longtime friend, my coach. Okay, he is the reason why Morning Brew is Morning Brew today. Okay, so nevertheless, today's mixed blend is going to be all about wings to fly, the power of human connection. So yes, I have my own story to share on this show. And we have our special guest, Mr. Charles E. Williams Jr., who is a two-time Emmy Award winner and also the founder of WEG Media Group. Well, let me stop talking. Let me just bring him on, okay? Because I don't have him for long today. So hold on one sec. Let's bring him up.
Hey, good morning, Morning Brew. I'm happy to be back again. Look, I love coming to this show.
I always love having you. Listen, today's show is going to be about wings to fly. I know this is something so near and dear to your heart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so can I just tell you, can I give you your flowers right now?
I'll try to take them. I'm not good at taking flowers, but I will try and take them.
I'm going to give you your flowers right now because this is something I know that's near and dear to your heart. You are truly a mentor. Truly, when I say truly a mentor, eat, sleep, breathe mentorship, that's who you are. And I think back to those early days sitting in the CBS, your editing room at CBS television. And when I thought about it as we were preparing for the show, I said, wow. I sat there, I was so green, like very new to a lot of things, but you opened up and gave me access and really began to pour into me during that time that allowed me to tap into my creativity. And I began to do web designs. Now, no experience, but literally in your space, I had begun to do design work, web designs, and it was amazing because I ended up turning it into a business.
No, that is fantastic. Thank you for that. I appreciate that a lot because I think just as human beings, we need to get feedback. We need to be refueled by the people that we kind of give fuel to. And that's one of the things that I believe in doing because I had a mentor back in college.
Yes.
She was teaching there, and she's the one that was responsible for helping me get my career together. Kind of pull this shy kid who couldn't speak well, who couldn't do things, was afraid of his own shadow. But
Wow.
She took me by my ear, I say, and pulled my ear and said, "Look, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it, and you will be successful if you just follow the blueprint." So I remember asking her one day when I got my first job in the media business.
Yeah.
I asked her, "How do I pay you back? What can I do for you? Could I buy you something?" She said, "You can do nothing for me except for one thing. When you have an opportunity to give back to someone else, that's all I want you to do. I don't want you to do anything else but give back." And so I kind of coined this phrase early on in life, flying on somebody else's wings until
Yes.
your wings are strong enough to carry you. And all of us are connected to each other, because I live by a philosophy also that I learned from this movie, A Wonderful Life. It's a movie that's played during Christmas time every time, and it
Yes.
shows how our lives are connected to each other. Because if I wasn't here, maybe the connection you and I have wouldn't have been what it needed to be, and it wouldn't have
Absolutely.
you into what you're doing today. So flying on somebody's wings, it really means if you don't have the knowledge about something, how to do something, how to proceed, or if you have a fear of succeeding, find someone that will allow you to fly with them, and they will guide
Yeah.
you through the process. And as you go through the process, your wings get stronger and stronger. And then guess what? You hop off my wings, and now you put somebody on your wings, and you see how that connection happens over and over and over. And that's how we build a community and a world.
Listen, I do a segment on here thanks to that's sponsored by Teresa Merritt Watson called Blacks in Fact. And you know what? Today I am making you the Blacks in Fact.
Oh,
I am,
wow.
because you know what? We don't celebrate those enough that have really contributed into our lives. And when I thought about it, I said I could have thought about anybody throughout my journey that has been significant in my life that I could have shared. But when I really thought about it, you opened a whole world, this whole media world, you opened that up to me. I was in management, retail management. Then I went into, as you know, the entertainment industry because we worked together in the music business,
Right, right,
into
right.
management. But and you know what? I don't think I tell you enough because we just like yin and yang. you
Right,
know,
right.
it's been so long, but I really need to just give you your flowers and bless you because of you, I believe that's why I'm sitting here today in this media space to be able to do what I do. And I've paid it forward so many times because of your wisdom.
And you know why that's important? First of all, thank you again for those flowers. I received them and I absorbed them into my spirit. The thing I want you to know, this was a kid after, people look at my life now and they'll see two-time Emmy winner,
Absolutely.
three-time nomination, lifetime achievement award, all of those things. But those things wouldn't have meant nothing, or they would not even be possible if someone hadn't seen something in me and said, look, I'm going to groom you. I'm going to help you grow and develop into a career, not a job. Because a job, you can get a job anywhere, but a career is something you build over time. And so this literally shy kid who could not pronounce words, couldn't any S words, I couldn't pronounce them. Any T words, I couldn't pronounce them. I just could not speak, and my articulation was so off. So this woman who was instrumental in my life during my college years actually told me. I mean, I had several mentors there, but she was one that kind of stayed around for years and years. And when you say that you were in retail and you were doing something else, and what advice I gave you or whatever I helped you with
Absolutely.
helped you get to where you are today, it was the same thing with her. This is somebody who came from a family, had no TV experience, no production experience, never been
Mm,
inside of a TV station, never been inside of a radio station, just listened to it, through my little transistor radio back in the early 70s or mid 70s when I was growing up. But this
mhm.
person took me and showed me in this is what I want any young person or anybody who's trying to do something that they want to accomplish. The one thing I want them to understand, you have to do things in fear. Meaning,
Oh my
even if
gosh.
you are afraid to do something, do it
Yes.
anyway, because that may be your calling. And if that calling keeps coming to you over and over again, that is what you're supposed to be doing. So you have to pay attention to the voice, because all of us have a voice inside of us. And that little voice tells us yes or no. But guess what some of us do? We go ask 15 of our friends, and 14 of those friends will say, I don't think you should do that. You sure? What if it doesn't work? Well, now you got a dream. You got dream killers in your life.
That's
So
right.
you have to be careful who you expose your dreams and your aspirations to, because everybody's not rooting for you. Some people are slapping you on the back, but secretly saying, no, I don't think that's you.
Mhm. You talked about your earlier days. I think your story is so intriguing. First of all, I am waiting for you to write your story.
I'm
I mean,
getting there.
I know you tell your story in so many different ways, in this whole media
Yeah.
um body of work. But as a young kid, someone saw you because you were shy. You didn't talk for, I mean,
I
literally.
did not speak from the first grade to the 10th grade.
Now, when you say that, because people may not believe that, what does that actually mean?
That means if I was not asked a question, I wouldn't volunteer anything because in my mind, I didn't have anything to say.
Mm,
I didn't read books. I didn't read magazines. I didn't read the newspaper. So I had no knowledge in my head where I felt I could freely talk about things. And growing up in a big family and as a middle child,
mhm,
sometimes you get squeezed in the middle and your voice gets lost. So a
mm.
lot of us, as I was speaking to someone this weekend, sometimes we have to go back and reclaim our voice. And that's what I had to do over time. And I remember going on a field trip with because what happened, the reason I got out of my shyness or my fear of speaking is because somebody said, well, join the theater department, they'll force you to talk, which that was the most important thing that I did before going to college and acquiring the mentor that I had in college.
Okay.
Because once I got there, and her name was Miss Rogers, and she told me, look, you can't do this, you can't do this, but I want you to practice doing this because I'm going to make you not a lead in the play, but I'm going to make you just an extra. Then you're going to lead up. And then she made me the sheriff of the of important part in the
Wow.
play. And it forced me to speak.
Wow.
Then I started acquiring knowledge. I was reading everything, paying attention to everything, because let me go back in time how every life is connected to another life.
Absolutely.
Now let's go back to the third grade. There was a gentleman, don't know his name, don't know who he was or whatever, but I just remember sitting there in that elementary school auditorium. And that guy said, there are people who watch things happen, make things happen, and there are people who wonder what happened. Which category do you want to be in? Do you want to be the person that's making things happen, knowing what's happening, are wondering what's happening? Because if you're always
Wow.
wondering what's happening, you're not getting enough knowledge where you can do anything. And people say to me all the time, how did that phrase change your life? I have no idea. But
Wow.
everything literally flipped overnight after hearing that speech that he gave. Everything in my life, the way I went to school, the way I did my homework, the way I interacted with people, I was still shy because I wouldn't talk to anybody unless they spoke to me. But once I got into the theater department and started talking, then got into media and got into communications, people say, now you won't shut up.
Well, the funny thing is, you've been finding your voice. So back then, someone gave you the courage to just do.
Well, let's look at it like this. Somebody gave me the courage, but what would Charles say? Somebody allowed me to fly on their wings until my wings were strong enough to carry me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so wings to fly, the power of human connection is the topic today, the brew topic today. And that's exactly what you just exemplified. So it's okay. Let's get into this because you have a lot going on, and I have a little bit of time to tell your story in. Okay. Because I know you have another engagement. So, Charles, at this point, can we just open up and introduce WEG Media Group and the new business model that you're working on right now, the new opportunity? Is it fair enough for us to do that? Am I getting ahead of myself?
A little bit, but that's okay. That's okay because
No,
I know
no.
we're short on time and everything. That's okay. But what I want people to understand, I would just want to go back to that fear thing
Mhm.
because when I'm giving speeches to young people and I'm talking to them, I tell them two things. I have not had a job since 1982.
Absolutely.
Why? Why do I say that? Because I found a career that it's not work for me. It's fun, it's creative, it's interesting, hard work. Yes, it's stressful at times, but still it's something I've loved over the last 35, 40 years that I've been doing it since I was like 18, 19 years old in high school and college. But number two is the thing that people ask me, well, how did you do that? Weren't you afraid? Yes, every single thing I've ever done in my life. Even now doing this interview, I'm nervous. And I've been
What?
in media for almost 40 years.
You
Uh,
coach me?
I know, but still, You want to look, this is one thing the theater teacher told me back in high school. She said, before you hit the stage, if you don't have butterflies, that means you become jaded and you don't
Mm,
bring that realness to the table. And what you want to do is always bring realness to the table. So my career, sometimes I tell people on paper, I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing. But guess what?
I'm doing it.
Because I paid attention, because I
Absolutely.
listened to people who had my best interest. I was always grateful because a lot of people, you do things for them and they're never grateful. They don't even see the importance that you bring to their space. Sometimes
Absolutely.
they take. And all of a sudden they realize, why is it not working for me? Because you took and you didn't give back. Because I think
Wow.
blessings are meant. See, I live by a 10% rule, whether it's
Okay.
finances,
Hmm.
time, energy, spirituality, whatever it is. I found a way to give 10% of my time. If somebody does something for me, I'm going to
Yes.
find 10% of my time to give to someone else. A friend of mine called me last night and we was just
Good.
talking about how we go through these moments of where we're just feeling down or we're feeling a
Yes.
little depressed, not maybe clinically depressed, but just down.
Yeah.
But what I tell people all the time, the best way to get through when you're just feeling heavy and down, go serve somebody else. That will
That
wake up
is so
everything
true.
inside of you. And that's what I try to do. When I have those moments where I'm just got, it's not working, it's not happening, I go and serve somebody else and I get more joy out of service than I get from doing something sometime for myself, which is a balance. We always have to understand you have to be able to
Yes.
balance your life because you cannot give all of your gas away and look around. There's nobody with a gas can to give you gas.
And how often does that happen?
It happens a lot
It
if we don't control it. But we have to
absolutely.
control things and realize at some point you have to go, my capacity is, I'm at my limit now. So now
Absolutely.
I have to refuel because if you don't ever refuel, you're always drained. And you don't want to live your life where you're drained. Because my mother used to tell me when I was young, Charles, be careful with different situations because you want to be this giver and you want to be this person that helps everybody because you're that middle child syndrome. But you got
Hmm.
to be careful with that because it could breed resentment in you because you'll get angry with people when they don't give back as you gave
That's
to them. So you have to be able to give it away and walk away and
absolutely.
understand you've done your job. Your job's been done. So whatever they're going to do with that gift,
That's
that's
it.
on them.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Your expectation level, you have to shift that. So,
totally has to be shift. And you
mhm,
have to make sure that you see. I do. A therapist told me that I saw about 4 or 5 years ago. First of all, she told me, stop being down on yourself. You are the, there's a word
yes,
that she
yes,
used.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
but number two, she said, you have to change the tape recorder because growing up, everything that's fed into our brain, into our space, into that closet is there. So
Yes.
what happens when we find ourselves in familiar territories, that
Hmm.
tape recorder automatically goes off. You're not this, you're not that, you can't make it, you're this, you're all kind of
Right.
negativity. But what I've learned through other therapies and talking to people, that guess what? The tape recorder never goes away what was put
Exactly.
there. But you have to put so much inside that tape recorder where it balanced the negative out. So when you go to think negative, all of a sudden Big Brother comes on, oh, what about this over here? Oh, no, no, no. Forget about that. I got you over here. And so you use that fear as fuel. See, we need to walk in faith, not fear.
Hmm.
See, when we
Hmm.
walk in fear, we question everything. Or somebody can come along and tell us, Charles, maybe you shouldn't start that production, or maybe you shouldn't learn AI because you know you're at a certain age now. You should be retiring, you should be sitting somewhere on a beach. But why? I think sometimes when you sit around and do nothing, you die. That's just
Absolutely.
my philosophy. I think if you keep moving and you keep training your brain gets better like a muscle. And that's the way I look at it. So, getting back to what you were
Absolutely.
talking about when you were talking about this new venture that I started, yes, I've gotten into AI technology where I can take a
Oh my
picture and
gosh.
turn it into a commercial. I can take voiceover stuff and amp
Yes.
your voice and do all of that. So that is the start of Storyport AI Studios, and that's what I think you're going to show a clip of some of the things that we do.
Yes, I am interested. I want to piggyback off of something you said before. When I think about the stuff we have stored in our brains, our minds that constantly keep replaying, you know how we unplug to reboot something, or maybe we change the programming? Like you said, you keep filling it up, keep filling it up. Sometimes you might need to delete and then move forward also. Because
Absolutely. You just reminded me of something that I told a good friend of mine about 8 years ago when she was going through some trauma and some stressful times. I said, look, this is sometime we have to remind ourselves. But of course, when we're carrying the cross, we don't want to hear all of that, right?
absolutely.
But there's always a ram in the bush if you want to go biblical.
Definitely.
I used to tell all the time, just get to the other side of the street. Don't worry about what's over there. You just have to walk. Keep walking, as it says in the Bible, when Lot had to leave the city,
Mm-hmm.
don't look back. Because
That's
once
right.
you look back, somebody's gaining on you, as Satchel Paige said back in the day. So once you
Ooh.
decide that you're going to change, don't look backwards. Look forward and keep moving forward every day. Because what happened, the fear that you have inside of you will
Yes.
slowly go away, and you're going like, wait a minute, I'm doing this. I'm on this stage getting this award. Oh, I'm on this. Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly.
This is so and so next to me. This is Jesse Jackson next to me. Oh my God, this is Harry Belafonte next to me. And sometimes you're pinching yourself inside because you said, how did this little country boy
Oh my
end up in
gosh.
these spaces where in his mind he never dreamed he would be in those spaces? But once you prepare yourself for opportunity, and when that opportunity presents itself, you realize you belong in any room you're in.
Absolutely. And you have a body of work. You have interviewed some of the greatest, those that have passed on. I mean, you have some of the last interviews on famous people that we know.
Yep, I've interviewed Jesse Jackson, Rosa Parks, Prodigy from Mobb Deep, uh, uh,
Malcolm
uh,
Jamal Warner.
Malcolm Jamel Warner. I mean, just a host of
I mean,
people
you have
over my career.
yes,
And half of the people asked me, a lot of young people asked me, "Oh, you met that so and so?" I said, "I did, but I didn't take a picture." Mr. Williams, why can't you take a picture
exactly.
with people? I said, "That's not my personality, but I'm learning from young people that
Yes, capture
if
the
you don't
moment.
see it, it doesn't exist."
That's
So
true.
I have to start taking pictures and making sure that I promote me, because I come from a family where, in their minds, it was like, oh, don't promote yourself, do for others. But you
Exactly.
realize they gave you what they could give you at that time. And maybe that's
Hmm.
the way they had to live. Your job is to move the rock forward, not stay where they were. Not that they were wrong or they were slow or anything like that. They were giving you all they could give you. Now you take all of that package and add to the package where you can pass the package on to someone else. And those are the things that you have to keep in mind. What do you
Yes.
now? This AI stuff that I've gotten into,
Oh
I've
my
been in the
goodness.
television business almost 40 years. So, I was becoming a little jaded and doing things and routine. I can just put anything together quickly, that kind of thing. But once I got into AI, I said, I feel like I'm 20 years old starting in the business all over again. And so that's why I started about 6 months, 8 months ago. And I just started slowly learning things, growing my craft in
Yes.
terms of what I needed to do. And I still feel like I'm a newborn baby at doing all of this, but I'm able to move fast because I dedicated myself as if I'm back in high school or college learning on a course. And that's what I want to do. And eventually I'm going to show other people how to do what I'm doing down the road.
Well, listen, you are definitely doing the thing. And once again, you inspire me. And like I said, I'm sitting here today in front of people 5 days a week because you were like, it's time. Let's start. Morning Brew, the name was even inspired by you. So we
Oh,
did a whole name change.
yeah, we did. Well, one of those, how everybody has a gift. Like you're brilliant at doing graphics and making things just look. Sometimes I'm so amazed when you send me a picture. I'm going, okay, how do you do that? How do you put these images together and make them pop? That's your gift. And I remember
Oh
telling
my
you, I think you
gosh.
were 25 or 26, or maybe you was just 30 when I really realized that you were doing all these graphics and everything. And you were going, like, oh, that's nothing. That's what I went to school for. I said, Germaine, this is so far above what everybody else is doing until you don't even know your gift yet. So that's why I said, no, I'm going to encourage her as much as I can. She can fly on my wings until she
Yeah,
feels confident enough to fly.
absolutely.
And that's what we all have to do. We have to see something in someone else that we get no benefit from. Meaning
Absolutely.
we're not making money off of it or nothing. Just the idea that you're taking something that you know or something you believe in about somebody and encouraging them to do it and pushing them a little harder. But sometimes we have to be pushed off the cliff. Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
afraid to jump in the water, but sometimes somebody needs to nudge you off the cliff and say, just do it. Then you go, oh. the water's not as cold as I thought it was going to be, right?
Well, you pushed. And you know what's so funny? I've been consistent, and Charles, May 16th will be 1 year.
Congratulations. Just
May 16th
amazing.
will be 1
Because
year.
I remember, oh, let me tape all my audio. Let me tape all my podcasts, and then I can clean them up and edit them. I said, Germaine,
Go live.
jump in the water and go live. And because you and I know each other and you trust me, and that's the most important thing that we have to realize. When somebody has your best interest, sometimes you just have to walk the plank because what they're telling you to do. Because you know that person, and you know that person is not going to steer you wrong. They're going to give you the best if they have. They're going to go do research for you. They're going to help you out. Sometimes you have to just go, you know what? I'm putting myself in your hands. I'm going to fly on your wings and whatever you tell me to do until I learn my craft. And in May, it'll be a year, 1 year of not going once a week, going nearly every single day. That's an applause. So I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for Morning Brew, and I'm happy
for Urban Bite. Listen,
you allow me to come on, so I appreciate it.
Well, listen, let's get into this because I know you're going to be like, I have to leave. And so before that happens, let's kind of wrap things up with showing some of your work and what you offer. Do you want to have the pleasure of pulling it up?
Yeah, what we're getting ready to show you guys now is what I've learned with AI just over a few short months of doing this. And the reason why I'm saying a few short months, because sometimes when we get to a certain age, we think, oh, our learning ability is over. Oh, we don't need to learn that. Oh, it's too hard for me to learn this. But if I can go from what I was doing for the last almost 40 years to doing this, I think creatively, I think a lot of people can fall into this trap. And like I said, I'm at the infant stages. So I want people to know that they could come onto my platform, or they can contact me. We can get them started. We can show them how they can do productive things with the tools that are available out there. And a lot of these tools are cost effective, where you can get them and you can start. It could be a whole new business. It could be like I do commercials. From one photograph, I can create an entire commercial. From one image that we would make up and you would tell me your idea, we got a cartoon. We got a superhero. We got an app that you want to promote. We want all of those things. We got a publishing company, which is your publishing company, HOV Publishing. We can create those things almost just from your imagination. So we can watch this clip.
Go ahead. You want to press the button?
Yep, I'll do it right now.
Let me let you.
Vision shouldn't be reserved for the wealthy. Creativity shouldn't be locked behind gates. And purpose shouldn't wait for permission.
Make your project come to life without expensive production, without wasted money, without losing your voice.
Where AI meets storytelling. Welcome to Story Porch Studios. We're harnessing AI to build the future of cinematic storytelling. AI-powered, story-driven. Creativity shouldn't be locked behind gates.
The new AI visuals are incredible. Let's integrate them into the final PSA cut.
We are Story Porch Studios, harnessing the power of AI to create, inspire, and produce your story.
And that's what we do at Story Porch Studios.
That is incredible. Incredible. So listen, you've even given me some samples for me to watch of my own commercial spot that I am so excited about launching for HOV Publishing. So, oh my gosh. And I just want to say this, anybody that is interested in getting their own commercial spot, then you know what, you're in the right space and this is the right time. So,
and if I could add this to it, I know you've published over 500 books and stories through your publishing company.
Yes.
Now let's take some of those books and animate those books. Let's take some of those books and turn them into stories, or a weekly series, whether it's on cooking, inspiration, or motivation, or exercise, or nutrition. Let's take some of those books and tell those stories visually, because we live in a visual society and everybody wants something visual. Yes, you can listen to it audio-wise when you're in your car, But when you're at home and you want to put it on your big screen TV, you want to watch the stuff and you want somebody to tell you the story. Because sometimes just hearing about somebody else's journey will inspire you to get off the couch and do what you need to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for making that announcement, because that is definitely a part of the new HOV publishing rollout that we're doing, by adding that in as part of marketing, part of digital media that people now can engage in for their own stories. So thank you. You make me look good. Listen,
We make
you
each other
make
look good.
HOV publishing look good.
And I'm so happy about, the studio and HOV Publishing coming together to create these products for the world. Because everybody can't go out and spend $25,000 on a commercial, but they can do an introduction offer that we're offering for $250. But eventually, as we add to it, depending on what you want, because we can build anything from scratch. But for the folks who want to get in, we're offering $250 commercials, 30-second commercials for you. So whatever you guys want to do, you can either reach out to HOV Publishing or the Morning Brew, or you can reach out to Storyport Studios, and we'll be ready to serve your needs.
Now, I want to say this because I know you're getting ready to head out, but I want to say Charles is also over in our school community. So for anyone that wants to definitely connect and reach out to Charles personally, he's in our school community. So you know what? But you got to join. You got to be a part of it. It's free. It's available for anybody. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Okay. SchoolSKOOL.com/Morning Brew with Germaine. It is growing. It's direct connection. And Charles is in there along with a lot of other my friends. They're all in there. So, but it gives you direct access. So Charles, I just want to say once again, you always make me look good. But thank you so much. And thank you for allowing me to fly on your wings until I grew my own wings. And now others are loading up on my wings.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Yes. I'll talk to you soon. So you be safe, whatever you do in your travels today, okay?
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, it is such a blessing. Let me pull up my full screen. Okay. It is such a blessing being able to have those that feel like family. Charles is family. He has always been listen, we've been in relationship for over 30 plus years. And the thing is, you want people in your life that help you grow. Anybody in your life that's taking away and depleting, you might want to rethink that, okay? So find those that's going to add value and add to your life. Find those that will allow you to fly on their wings and to you grow your own wings. But I always love, and you know what? I always say, you know what? Whenever you want to come on, listen, the door is open. How can I say no? I can't. But thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy day to stop by and to just have coffee and conversation with us over here at Morning Brew. I want to say also that, yes, let me just run this before we come to a close. Please make sure you stop by and join the school community. A lot of my authors have joined the community, and I know it's something new that we're navigating and we're learning together. But you know what? It's great to be able to go into the community and be able to connect with someone like Charles, like Josie Harris, who was on last week. She's in the school community also, one of the In Living Colors Fly Girls, right? And she has her school, her acting school. But definitely, there's so many others. Some of my best-selling authors are over in the community. So you can have access and talk to them. So don't be a stranger. Listen, all are welcome. Come on in, right? And let's talk about the power of your story. And now, on another note, this is what I have been up to. Yes, let's see. Good morning, Dr. Tenaria Drummond Smith. Hey, Germaine. So I'm glad you chimed in. Yes, indeed. Amen. Yes. So, yes, Charles being on today, I tell you, he is definitely an amazing mentor. And I know he got some work in store for you as well. So, but guys, please listen, join me on TikTok. Yes, Morning Brew every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the lunch hour. But join me over on TikTok. It is Morning Brew with Germaine over on TikTok. So the @ Morning Brew with Germaine. But yes, every Tuesday, stop by. I just completed my second TikTok live, and I have to tell you, it's comical on one hand. On the other hand, we have a really good time over there. People engaging in conversation dialogue. And like I said, it's a spillover. So I always say it's about the heart, right? So when you get a chance, stop by. Or you can just go to my TikTok and you can recapture some of the actually some of the videos that we've already done over there. So, but yes, TikTok is a beast in itself. Yeah, it's doing its own thing. Doing its own thing. All right, guys. So we're going to bring this to a close. Once again, thank you so much. If you want to catch up on any of our videos, you can always go over on YouTube at morningbrew.germaine.com. But before we go and say goodbye to everybody, in the background, you see our Blacks in calendar. Let me just pull that out because remember, we take from the calendar. Like I say, every month is Black History Month. Every month is celebrating our Black history. So this calendar, I say, is absolutely so beautiful. Created by Teresa Merritt Watson, who sponsored the Black In segment on Morning Brew. And in this calendar, as you can see, let me get my camera right. Over on the side, what happens for the month of March, we pull out pretty much some history from someone that's in the calendar month. And so I encourage everyone to go to Blacks, BLACK, in, no, I'm saying it wrong. Blacks, www.blacks-in.com, and make sure you pick up your copy of this absolutely beautiful copy. Thank you, Gerard Harmon, for his amazing visual creativity that helps to bring Blacks in alive. He takes Teresa's vision. Look at that mentorship, or look at that partnering is so important. But really just collaborating, taking her vision and bringing it to life through visuals. And now it can be in everybody's home. So make sure you stop by blacks-in.com and get your copy, your own personal copy. Okay. All right. And on that note, guys, whatever you do today, be safe. It is beautiful weather up north. It's going to be cold next week again, but we've been having 60. Yesterday was 70. Strange times we're living in. But nevertheless, be safe, whatever you decide to do today. And I will be back tomorrow with Morning Brew with Germaine. Thank you. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.